Here's Johnny. That's good.
There you go. It's a play on words. Ha.
Short, sweet, and effective.
So, it's been a week, I guess. I'm not in my usual location, as you might have noticed. I've changed.
You're in a hotel?
I'm in a hotel. Somewhere in the world.
Where, though? I have to guess? Croatia.
Close.
Really?
I'm in Skopje, North Macedonia, which is...
Of course you are. Of course
Which is, you know...
I was gonna be there too, but plans changed. Where are you?
It's their main boy that they're proud of is a guy named Alexander the Great, who like conquered a bunch of territory.
I know him. He looked like Brad Pitt.
Yeah, and so it's so you got Greece that dangles down this little nutsack into the Mediterranean, and then North Macedonia is the part right above it. There was a whole section called Macedonia, but then there was a bunch of political strife, and Greece claimed half of it as their province of Macedonia, and so they required that the other nation call itself North Macedonia. It's all of this Slavic shenanigans that happened in Europe.
So tell me, climate, environment, what's...
It's nice. It gets down to where you need a sweater at night, but it gets warm to where you can be in shorts and a t-shirt during the daytime. Is the summary.
Right. So is it summer there? Right.
Yes. It's the very tail end of summer.
Just like here.
I came here last year to this particular conference, and I apparently was polite enough that they wanted to invite me back, and they put me in a different hotel this year. The whole sort of country is kind of like, when you travel, there are countries that are like, oh wow, this is very rich and expensive and stuff. Like when I went to Norway, everything was expensive and everything was really nice and everything was really clean and everything was really well organized, put together in the Scandinavian way. And then you get down to like Greece and Macedonia and stuff, where things are a little bit more laid back and not as clean and less organized, and there's in the bathroom in my hotel room, there's a thing that was clearly jury-rigged with a screw and another thing to seal a valve in a weird way that some workman invented to solve this particular problem, in a way that
Jimmy rigged.
In a way that isn't in other countries they think, oh well, I will go get the proper tool, and in some countries they're just like, fuck getting the proper tool, I'm just going to fix this in the way that I can. We can
fix this without.
So there's a little bit of that, but I've only been here for several hours because I got up at 4 a.m. this morning and took two 2.5-hour flights with a 3-hour layover, and so I got here and I'm kind of bushed, but I took a little nap, and then I went out to dinner, which I want to talk about, and now I'm here, and I had to come early. My actual conference is on Saturday, but the way the flights are, because it's such a rarely visited place, there aren't lots of flights. Like if you're going to London or Paris or something, there's all the flights you could possibly want. But if you're going to Skopje, there's only a couple flights, and they are on weird times and dates and stuff. And so, like, last year, I remember, and this year as well, when I tried to book the flights to come here, like, the algorithm went and did beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, boop. What can we possibly give you? And, like, one of the top results was, like, why don't we have you do a 9-hour layover in Istanbul overnight so that you can, and it's just like, whoa, no. So,
is Istanbul now Constantinople? It's Istanbul, it's now Constantinople.
Other way.
Why did Constantinople get the jerk? It's nobody's business but the Turks. Oh, Istanbul was once Constantinople.
There you go.
Oh,
you pulled a.
It's Istanbul.
You pulled a They Might Be Giants song last week with Particle Man, which impressed me as well.
Oh, really? Particle Man, a universe man.
Was so.
It's delightful.
So anyway, it turned out that like it only made sense for me to come a day early and stay a day late, and I was like, okay, whatever, I can do that.
Yeah.
So
if you were to describe this geographic domain as if it was a state in our country and United States, what would it be?
I mean, weather-wise, I feel like...
No, not weather.
Well, hold on.
Terrain.
I mean, terrain, it's dry Southern California. But, like, that's what most of the Mediterranean is. Southern Spain, Italy, Greece... It all feels like...
So scrubby?
It all feels kind of scrubby, yeah.
Scrubby, dry,
yes.
arid, not sand, stony sand.
Yeah. I mean, it's wine country. There's lots of vineyards.
Oh, wine country, dry.
Wine and olive.
Water.
Are that's the Mediterranean... product.
Well, that's not altogether scrubby, though.
Yeah.
I mean, there's enough rain for that. But that's in pockets.
There's not a lot of deciduous trees, let's say. But it's so yeah. And then I don't know. Apart from climate, I don't know how to relate it to the U.S. It's
well, you did.
Okay.
I mean, it's more San Diego than Santa Barbara.
And again, I've never been to those places, but those are my imaginations of those places.
Oh,
so
now, no. Why would you go to those places when you can be in Northern Macedonia?
Yeah. So I figure SoCal is like this, but I've never been.
So tell me about lunch.
So lunch didn't really happen. Like it was dinner really. So I got into the hotel at like 4:35 p.m. and I was like, okay, I'm kind of bushed. I got in at like 4. And so I went for a walk, and I walked around over to the place that I had been last year, which is like a 20-minute walk to see the main square and things, and sort of feel like, okay, here I am in this important city. And I had a beer, and then I walked back. But like because I had been traveling all day, like my phone battery, my watch battery were like just barely about to die. And I was like, well, I need to be able to navigate in this foreign city. So like, I I was like on a timeline of like I need to actually like get back to my hotel so I can plug in this darn thing because without this I don't have, because I pay for everything with Apple Pay with my watch and my phone. I don't really carry any credit cards or any money, and I don't really have any ID on me. And so, like, if my phone dies, I'm kind of just like a non-human.
You don't even
right.
exist.
So there was a little bit of I need to get back, and so I came back and I took a little nap. And some of my colleagues that have gotten here already were like doing a previous, like a little pre-conference workshop thing that I thought I might go to, but maybe I won't. And I've got a colleague here that last time I came, I went out the first night with her and her husband, and they showed me around some nice food, but she wasn't feeling very.
Yeah, I remember the story.
She wasn't feeling that well today, and she said maybe we can do it, on Sunday, because I said I'm going to be here on Sunday, and I said that's fine. And so here I was in this foreign land where I can't even read the fucking alphabet because it's literally all Greek to me. And so I'm like, well, do I just go to the most local place and get a sandwich or something, and come back? And I was like, well, because I had this experience in Oslo where I asked ChatGPT to tell me about a cool restaurant, and it took me to the restaurant that was the most important restaurant in all of Oslo for me,
yes,
because it had been the place that I'd been before. I was like, all right, Chatty, tell me your restaurant within 15, 20 minutes walking that would be interesting. And it came back with several options. I'm like, well, if you want some Napolitana style pizza, you can go here. Or there's this other place that's this kind of a nice restaurant, but it serves very good food, and you might like it. And so I was like, all right, let me try this. So it was a good 18-minute walk, just fine. The temperature was lovely, and I got there, and it was immediately obvious that this was a beautiful old rustic, like really legit place. And I walked in, and I said table for one, and they're like, "Do you have a reservation?" I was like, "No," and they're like, "All right, well, here you go, loser. Go sit over here," which is cool. But then. So, when you're in a foreign country, you don't necessarily know how they order here. Yeah. Because in Spain, it's very common to everyone around the table order a bunch of things, and you all share a bunch of different things together. Other countries and places are more like, you sit down and you order your meal, and it comes, and that's your meal, and you don't touch anyone else's food, and blah blah blah. And other places, like, there's communal bread and stuff, and so I was really at a loss. Like last year when I had my friends,
but you're by yourself.
I was by myself in a foreign, and so I didn't really know.
Right. So it made the option of a bunch of people ordering a bunch of food.
Exactly, it's not possible.
Obviously off the table.
Yeah, literally off the table. And also because it's kind of a rundown kind of country, like the prices are really good, like everything's really cheap. So it was, and also in a different currency. Because we're not in the European Union here, so they have their own currency, and it's like I did a lookup to see more or less what things translated to, but So I didn't know, and so I was looking at the menu, and I was like, well, I guess there's this beef steak that is like that. Whenever you see a thing that like the name of the restaurant is like also part of the name of the dish, it's like that's their specialty, and I was like, all right, fuck it, let's do that. Yeah. And so I ordered some wine and this beef steak, and it took 20 minutes, and they came out with this sizzling platter of really finely cut steak alongside a cracked and fried a quail egg, which
that's awful tiny.
Yeah, right. And it was beautiful, and it was like sort of spittering and spattering or whatever, and it was some of the best steak I've ever had in my life. It was really, really good and cooked in the right and sliced in the right way and tender in the right way and just really amazing. But there were only like 12 bites of it because it was.
How much was it?
How much did it cost? Cost like $15. And so
I had a steak here the other night, and it was one of the cheaper ones, and it was $29.
Right, exactly. But this there were no vegetable sides. There was nothing. It was just the meat.
So your point about ordering and how the menu worked is legit, because little did you know that if you wanted to order a varied meal with more than one course, you needed to order it.
And so
I need to order vegetables, a salad,
right. So here I am, and I'm like, okay, that was some of the most amazing steak ever, but also I'm a hungry boy, so I asked for the menu again, and then I asked for. I wanted to just get some vegetables at all, but then one thing caught my eye that was a thing that I will never see again on a menu, and so I had to order it. That was prunes wrapped in bacon, and I was like, okay, let me try the bacon prunes. But then I said, and some like spicy potatoes or whatever. And the bacon prunes cost like $4, and the potatoes cost like $4.50 or something. But then it took another 20 minutes for them to arrive, and so here I am sitting I'm enjoying the atmosphere. It's lovely, but also I'm kind of hungry.
Wine. You drink wine.
And so that arrives, and the little bacon prune things are there's 3 on a stick, and there's 2 sticks where it's just a prune wrapped in bacon that's been put on a little stick and fried until the bacon is super crispy. Freaking amazing!
So
freaking amazing! But like exactly what you
$9,
exactly
$10.
What you would imagine. And then the potatoes were like actually like satisfied my hunger, because it was like, oh, this is actually filling my belly. And so, the whole meal was like $45-$50 or whatever, but it was, but it's just one of those, like, on the one hand, like, I'm not averse to dining alone, especially in a place where I know that like literally everyone that is in this building with me right now, I will never ever see again. Like, not that matters, but like, look, these aren't. I'm in such a remote location that I don't know. where I'd make a fool of myself. I guess now you can't anymore these days with like the internet, and people would take a video of you and you could go viral or whatever. But like, just I was just like, it was just, yeah, sure, I'll be happy to sit and eat.
So
here.
were you still hungry?
No, when I finished the potatoes, I was good.
The potatoes.
Yeah. And
right,
so
right. And they were spicy how? And crispy?
They were lightly crispy.
Or boily?
They were lightly crispy. They weren't. They were only slightly spicy with like some paprika sort of spice to it, but nothing really spicy to me.
I had breakfast out the other day when I was on my way to the doctor because I was early, and I ordered hash browns, which I always order crispy, and rye toast, sausage patty, and a short order of biscuits and gravy, which I take the sausage patty and put it on
nice.
the biscuit. And
seems like a healthy way to go to the doctor.
Here's the point. Yeah. Well, it was too late by that time. Blood work was a week before. But here's my point about the hash browns. I asked them crispy. They were so delicious. They were sort of like eating tiny little potato chips. And with a little salt on them and the natural grease that they were cooked in, I just thought, this may be the first time a cook understood what I meant when I said crispy. Because usually you'll get a spatula full of hash browns, and because you asked for them crispy, both sides are crispy, but in the middle they're not.
Huh.
Because he literally cooked it like it was a hash brown patty, right, so to speak. This person, whoever, had the good sense to chop it all up into little bits and spread it all over the grill. And so it cooked correct. But the other point of the story as a segue into what I wanted to mention to you was that while you were in northern Mesopotamia eating steak and little tiny turds wrapped in bacon, I sat at this restaurant, ate that food, and wrote the judge a letter about the traffic ticket that I got, that I believe, did I describe it to you last episode? Oh, really? Well, let me, I'm good. I'm glad to do that.
Let me get comfortable.
What I want to do then...
Go back to the beginning.
It's not very long. But I'm not going to give you any background then, because you, in fact, will be hearing it for the first time, just like the judge. Okay, you ready?
I am the judge. You, sir, there.
Eighth
plaintiff.
8th District Court. 8th District Court ticket Z511718. Admit responsibility with explanation. Due date 9/19/2025. Dear Judge, on September 9, 2025, I turned off Oakland Drive onto Chevy Chase Boulevard to shop an estate sale advertised on Oakland and Chevy Chase Drive. It was very popular. Both sides of the road fully covered with parked cars, including on the bike path. Reduced the block to Wade Avenue to only one clear lane. I pulled over tight and stopped twice in the short block. As I approached the crowded intersection where parked cars continued to create congestion, I saw a police car ahead, and to avoid cars coming toward me, moved from a stopped position to scoot through the intersection. Surprisingly, the police car's lights came on. The officer did a half U-turn in the middle of the intersection, disengaged from his vehicle, and came to my window for my license and registration, explaining I had run the stop sign. I replied, I think I stopped. And he replied, you ran right through it. In the several minutes while the officer was preparing his paperwork with his red lights blaring, to his immediate left, no fewer than 4 cars ran the stop sign in front of the yard sale. I was more than surprised to be issued a ticket rather than a warning, and when telling the officer about the 4 cars running the second stop sign, he said he'd love to give them all tickets but could only issue one at a time. I respectfully suggested the intersection was so chaotic that driving normally was near impossible. I wondered why the officer didn't park his vehicle and direct traffic before a collision took place, given cars were continually running 2 stop signs. Frankly, I probably should deny responsibility, but don't want the court to have a he said situation. I did stop before the stop sign, but I think I probably stopped sooner than I should have and coasted through it. This scene was chaos. Having to suffer a time and a mark on my record, a fine and a mark on my record, with the severe financial response from my insurance company seems an injustice, all things considered. Again, with all due respect to the officer, public safety should have dictated a public safety response, directing traffic, not exacerbating the chaos of the scene by further crowding the intersection. And with lights blaring, drivers obviously felt they were responsible by running the stop sign to avoid oncoming traffic in the very congested 3-way intersection. I will appear in court to plead my case should it please the court. Respectfully, Dennis.
Nice. Respectfully.
What do you think? What's he going to do? He could dismiss it. But I did admit, I guess I coasted through it. And I know I did, but I had stopped twice to let cars squeeze by me. And when I saw the cop car, it actually was one of the impetus for me scooting through.
And what?
Because I thought, well, there's a cop here. I'm going to get.
What is the fine?
The fine could be as much as $150 and a mark on my license. Could be more. Could be
$150, and the mark on your license could cost you up to $1,000 or something.
Causes the insurance to go up.
Huh.
Costs insurance to go up, perhaps considerably.
I don't know.
So that's what I did at the restaurant.
It's like people, Yeah, it's a tough position for everyone involved, because at what point, as someone that's trying to enforce the law, do you decide, okay, the law in this particular situation is unenforceable, therefore I need to do something else? And it's such an easy thing to be like, I'm going to just grab the first guy I saw. And
But the purpose of law enforcement is not simply to enforce the law. It's to de-escalate behaviors before they become criminal. It is a matter of public safety to be involved with what's going on in the scene and then react accordingly. In fact, in 50% of all types of law enforcement interaction with perpetual perpetrators of crime, fully 50% are not ticketed nor arrested. They're let go because the officer decides that, given the circumstances, this is his best way to show his duty. 50%. Now, there is data that shows that 50% happens to be with people who look like the officer.
There's that.
Rather than others, but nonetheless, it's a fact. And one of the reasons is because law enforcement officers know what I'm about to tell you, which you probably know too, which is that in the crimes that are indicated and for which there are not an arrest but an investigation, less than 10% are ever solved. And of the 10%, less than 1% are ever incarcerated. And so it's a real slippery slope to go from behavior to punishment and to accountability. And so an officer uses his or her best judgment to decide what's the best way to keep this from happening again, or to keep it safe, or to make sure that things go on smoothly
Right, because
so that
we
nothing
have
else
the
goes
law.
wrong here.
The law is a tool to give law enforcement leverage. It's not necessarily a cut and dried thing of you pass this stop sign, therefore everyone who passes this stop sign without stopping gets a ticket.
Give an example. Let's say that you're approaching a stop sign, and just as you're about to stop, a deer bolts in front of you, and instead you veer off the road to the right, and now you are illegally on an abutment of the highway.
Okay.
So do you get some type of a ticket for illegally being on the abutment of the highway, or did you actually act responsibly and the officer's response should be, good job, you didn't hit the deer?
Yeah, if you can prove there was a deer, yes. That's the thing.
Well, the officer was there at the intersection, saw the deer. I mean, that's the only way that
She was, okay.
this would work. But
Cool.
But the the other thing is too is that when I said I thought I stopped, in hindsight, I wish I would have said I stopped twice before I got to that stop sign, and because of the traffic, I thought it wise to move through it. That's what I. But you don't have your wits about you.
Yeah, and
When and I never thought in my wildest dreams that I was going to get a ticket. It never crossed my mind. I was shocked.
Uh-huh.
Because when he looked at my record, he thought, well, this guy hasn't had an accident or an infraction in 15 years, if it even went back that far, before I totaled 3 cars, which I don't think he had.
The whole I thought I stopped line it's honest in a way that shows humility and some self-doubt about
yes.
Because I, as someone who has read about how memory works, know that I cannot be in a jury trial because I cannot be in a jury because I don't believe that memory works the way everyone else thinks it does. And so, but in that situation, you can't say, I thought I stopped. You have to say, I stopped.
Well, except that honesty would dictate that at that moment, you weren't exactly sure, positive that you had stopped.
But
and without actually knowing why. And here's the thing. I actually had stopped, but it was sooner than what would have normally been at the stop sign.
yeah, but my point is, I'm not.
There was a doubt in my own mind.
My point is, I'm not positive about anything I've ever done. So, I know that memory is so fallible that it's just weird. Yeah, criminal justice, man, it's crazy.
So
That's my take.
I've had a wonderful day today. I on the medical desk. I will tell you that my shoulder, which I've been complaining about since about mid-May, and I think I told you that the doctor had said I need a new shoulder.
Yep.
And I said, instead, shot, cortisone. I got the shot. I walked in. I was there on time for my appointment. The physician's assistant showed me to my room, explained what would happen, and in walked a doctor who looked like Monk from the television series. His head was obviously too big for his little body, and he was dressed very nattily in a casual outfit with brown leather sneakers. And he said with his slick back hair and his too big head, "Hello, I'm blah, 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 Nathaniel Barmister, and I'm understanding I'm giving you a shot in your right shoulder." I said, "You are." And he said, and this is due to severe arthritis, And you know that I will use ultrasound to find the exact spot, because where I have to put the needle is very difficult to find otherwise. So do you have any questions for me? I said, no, I don't. It's been explained very well. Thank you. He said, I want you to lay on your side, and I'm going to give you actually 2 shots, all in the same needle. The first part of the shot is supposed to numb the area, which it does not do adequately. And so you'll remember that I said to you that it's going to be an ouch, and you remember that. And I said, okay, I'm prepared for that. He said, okay, let's get started. Lay on your left side. He went to the other side of the table. And I did what I usually do. I started getting into a mantra kind of breathing focused state. I don't like to see the needle, so I close my eyes. I'm a wuss for this stuff. And he said, all right, here comes the first little pinprick. And it went in, and it was it felt like a needle, but no different than when I got blood work done just the day before. And he said, okay, I'm administering so I said, oh, that hurts. That hurts. He said, yeah, I'm going to give that just a second, then I'm going to continue. And then he put the needle in further in between 2 of my bones of my shoulder. And he pushed it in, and as he pushed it in and injected, it hurt so badly that I literally jumped as I laid on the table and said, Jesus Christ, God damn it, that hurts. And he said, well, you've moved quite a bit, and I'm afraid you bent the needle.
Oh, fuck.
So I'm going to have to poke around, and I probably have to do this again. So this time when I do it, try not to jump. So he found the spot in the similar spot and did the same injection again. And I did not jump so much, but I said something to the effect of, Jesus fucking Christ. It hurt so bad. And I had broke into a cold sweat. My hands were clenched. I was breathing like I was about to birth a baby. And he said, well, I'm going to let you lay there a minute. Don't get up too quick. You'll be dizzy. A couple minutes later, I was up and out, and my shoulder hurt. But I knew it was the kind of pain that I wanted.
Good pain.
Post-needle. And he said on the way out, he said, oh, and by the way, I should have mentioned to you, your blood sugar is going to spike. I realize you're diabetic. Well, it'll be higher for about 10 days. So you'll just need to do what you need to do to deal with it.
Thanks, Doc.
By the time I got home, my blood sugar was 274. When it gets to 299, I have to check myself into the emergency room because I could go into diabetic coma.
Okay. Jesus.
Which I've never done. So at 274, I felt sick. I couldn't move. I was very tired. I was very sore. I slept for an hour and a half, woke up ravenous, ate the remainder of my steak dinner from the night before, mashed potatoes, gravy, yummy, and then was still exhausted, slept for another 2.5 hours. Woke up, watched a few shows, and then went and still watching The Brotherhood, by the way, about the Irish Mafia in Providence, Rhode Island, which I mentioned to you. And then I couldn't sleep almost all night long because I slept so much and I was on this stuff. And by the next day, I said, oh my God, what an improvement on my shoulder. Here I am the next day after that. And while it still hurts where he injected it, the pain, the constant pain that I had since mid-May is dissipated. But I did notice when I lifted my shoulder, my arm a certain way, that I had pain. Reminding me, of course, that it's a shot to kill inflammation.
Right.
And it doesn't really do anything about bone against bone.
Yeah, we talked about
which is what I'm down
Beyond
to.
B, yeah.
So that's my my medical report. And I worked a full half day today, mowing yards, doing edging in my yard, and other relatively minor power tasks. Not like lifting posts and fences. Nice. And I did start a new series, by the way, to move quickly to the entertainment desk, which is Task, starring Mark Ruffalo, by the people that did the Mar of Eastwood,
Okay.
and compelling about drug trafficking and things of that nature. Mark Ruffalo plays
Okay.
a detective that had
HBO.
a tragic event
Okay.
in his life and took a leave, and then he came back. Excellent stuff, man. Excellent. And I will pick up on House of Lies. That was Kevin Spacey, right?
No, you're thinking of House of Cards. House of
This is,
Lies.
Cheadle.
Cheadle is a
Yeah, I just finished it. I didn't do all the seasons, but I did three or four seasons. I think there's
there's
only,
like only 4 seasons. You watched the whole friggin' thing already? House of
months ago,
Okay, months ago.
a month
Okay,
and a half ago.
because I just recommended it like a month ago.
And I love the freeze. I love the freeze
Yes.
frame where they break the
Yes,
fourth
I love
wall.
that. Yes,
And Cheadle talks to
it's such a
he's
they are all such
He's
good
engaging.
comedy actors. Like the main characters are all comic actors, and it really shows because the show is foremost a comedy, but it gets so dark.
now
And,
the woman who plays the ingenue on
Yes.
the team, beautiful blonde woman. Did you see the series? What was
The
the
Good
name?
Place.
Not Fargo, but with Ian McShane as the lead actor, and the Gold Town, the Gold Rush Town. There was a series, and they made a movie of it. I always draw a blank on the goddamn name of it, but we talked about it for many
You're not
episodes.
talking about Deadwood.
Yes, I am.
She
Why did you say I'm not?
she wasn't in Deadwood.
She was in it. She played a 12-year-old whore
Okay,
with a brother.
fine, sure.
She was the thief
Okay, yep.
when she
Yes.
was 12. And when I saw the series and saw the woman, I had a nagging idea as to who it was. Who is this? And then I placed it. And here's another one. I'm watching this Irish mob, the brother. It's not the brother. It's called Brotherhood, and there's a cop in it who looks so familiar to me. He plays in a show about a 32, 35-year-old man, short Marine haircut, kind of overweight, and I look at him and I say, you know what? When he was a kid, he was starring in the movie All I Want for Christmas. And it bugged me, and every time I saw the series, my phone was off and was being charged, so I couldn't check it out. I checked it out yesterday when I was watching it, and sure enough, when he was like 12 years old, he starred in that
Wow.
show as just the cutest
Right.
kid with the cutest, wavy hair. And here he is playing a tough and nuts detective who ends up becoming an alcoholic and a drug addict. Excellent acting throughout.
So that
So-
that blonde woman, her name is Kristen Bell, and
Yes.
she starred. Well, not even her most famous thing. There was a TV show called The Good Place, starring Ted Danson and her and a couple of other people, where it's this sitcom sort of imagination of what would it be like if when you died you went to this heaven that was like everything was perfect and wonderful, but the
I've heard of it.
the gimmick of the show is that she, before she died, was actually kind of a horrible person, and so like there was a clerical error, and now she's here in this heavenly place with all the people that are like really nice, and so she's like confused, and anyway, it's a beautiful study of like the writer like studied philosophy, and the whole show is really just a like, how do we teach the common TV watcher about good and evil and philosophy and the trade-offs and things. I couldn't stand much more than the first season of it because it just wasn't my deal. Like, it rubbed me the wrong way. But my family watched a lot of it, and there's.
But Ted Danson, just, you can't take your eyes off him when he's on the screen. He's so much
charisma,
jarring actor.
But
he's so funny, so dry.
But you've heard of the Disney movie Frozen, right? Yeah, cartoon. And like the big song was "Let It Go, Let It Go," and like that was a huge thing in the culture for several years. You didn't have any granddaughters at that time. Anyway, the person singing that is her. So like, yeah.
Really?
So she probably makes more money from that one song than any of her other work. But good for her.
Well, if you find a minute to look at her scene in Deadwood, you'll recognize that she's so very young.
I've pulled up some images already. Yeah.
Of course she becomes familiar now that we've talked about it. But imagine watching it and just knowing vaguely, I know her as an adult. Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? And and of course now you can double click on the TV and it'll give you the filmography, and take you where. And it's interesting too that they have when you click on the details of the show, they will show you pictures of the actors, not at the age they appeared in the show, which would make some sense, but in current. And so you'll see a Bill Murray movie, for example, and when he was young, like
Ghostbusters or something. Yeah.
What was his army movie?
Stripes.
Stripes, yeah. But they'll show a picture of him now, and it's like, no.
That's weird. That's why the one of my favorite apps for looking up people when you're watching a movie tells you. You go to the movie that you're watching, and then you look down at the cast, and it tells you the age that they were at the time that it was filmed, which is so useful and like such an easy thing to implement. Like the math involved is so easy to do, but no one thinks to do that. But that's very cool. The other thing I was going to say. Movies.
So what about House of Lies? Where are you at in your episode?
I'm not even done with the first season yet.
Right, but you got the whole gist of it. Have you seen the one where the woman in the episode who works for the corporation is a Mormon, and so won't have intercourse, but it wants to get taken in a different way. Is it not the grossest? It's just such a study, and they keep showing her eating corn.
They're so good about that.
I thought this is so hilarious. It's not sensualizing or sexualizing sodomy in any way. It's like, and the guy just ended up couldn't do it. And every time she walks away, there's a close-up shot of her wiggling ass. And she's so interested, and he's like, I don't know, I don't think I'm.
Yes, the title of that episode was Utah, But yes,
Utah.
But like that actor, the main reason that I discovered that show and I'm watching that show is because of him, because
he's stand-up comic, right?
He's an improv comic. Yes, he does stand up too, but his the thing that he does regularly, like 20 times a year, he tours, and he and a group of people go and ask the audience. It's improv comedy. Ask the audience for a topic or give me a story that happened in your life, and we will reenact it. And that's so easy to do poorly. Like, bad improv comedy is so bad, but good improv comedy is astounding. The fact that they can go out there with no plan and just entertain is amazing. So that I'm a big fan of his. Ben Schwartz is his name. Yeah.
So we need to go to the politics.
Yeah, we need to talk about late night.
So Colbert was canceled.
Yep.
And it was known it was due to the merger of a $4 billion buyout of television rights, which controversy would limit the potential of it going through. And here we go. Kimmel is quoted in a show just last night.
It's that because I've been traveling, I haven't actually read what he said. All he said was this: what the mega world is doing is trying to create the image of this man who murdered Charlie, to be so different from them, so that they can score as many political points as possible. And it's not a violent, it's nothing other than offering an opinion. It isn't intended to be funny. That was it.
It was intended to be truthful in speaking, as he has a First Amendment right. And the FCC threatened to take away ABC's license if they didn't deal with this, the most disgusting, inappropriate thing that a person could say. And I thought, no, it's not. What would be to say he deserved it. What would be to say is that, well, why do you think the killer inscribed on the bullet, "You fascist, hope you can catch this," something to that effect. The degree of inappropriate reaction to this is so vast, and to take such a tepid response, the real fact is Kimmel's been so outspoken against Trump from day one that this was the way to get him. And now, first the show was suspended. The coverage of the show, the airing of the show was suspended, and then ABC suspended the show.
Right.
And he's yet to comment. And of course, he's lawyering up, and the lawyer is saying, "Don't say anything. Of course. Don't prejudice your case." And it's clearly a First Amendment issue, and outside the boundaries of the FCC mandate.
Does the First Amendment cover saying anything you want on broadcast television?
No, it broadcast
pre-recorded broadcast television
has a standard,
right?
Has a standard
because First Amendment only protects you. You can stand in a public square and say what you want.
Yes, this is different because there's a license involved, and the license indicates that you must represent the public interest. with no standards or definitions provided. That public interest has been so broadly understood as to be First Amendment related kind of comment. Comics will make fun of whoever they want. That it isn't that it's never suspended a license, but it's so rare nobody's been able to explain to me whenever it was done. Interestingly, an FCC commissioner was interviewed on television, a commissioner who works under the chair of the commissioner, not as her boss. Her boss is probably, I don't know who her boss would be, the appointing authority, whoever, that could be Congress, I don't know who it is, but she felt certainly confident in saying this is outrageous. We don't have this mandate in any way, shape, or form, and what they're doing is they're stepping on First Amendment rights within the construct of the public interest. Nobody's going to look at what he said and be able to explain how that opinion is damaging. It's not violent. It's not a hate message.
Yes, okay, but this is the way the oligarchy takes its power. In the same way that canceling Colbert was not about the stuff that he was saying. It was a corporate decision. And a company is allowed to take people off the air as they see fit because it's their company, right? So the underbelly of that is that you know that the government is like, gosh, it'd be really bad if something were to happen to your broadcasting license. Shouldn't you take this person that says bad things about me off the air? And so, like, it's not that the government is going and taking people off the air. It's that the implied pressure is causing the people in power, the corporate people in power to take action before they're forced to by the government.
Yeah,
which is disgusting, and the way that this was always going to happen. Like, so it's, I don't know, of all the late night people, Kimmel, I don't know, he's always had the most punchable face to me. but he's done some really good things too. And
you know who's not controversial at all is Jimmy Fallon.
Right?
He's very
just playing the clown. And like he would never take a political
He's just
stance.
A boy wanting to have fun.
Right.
Yeah, he's just a boy having fun.
And he's taken
canceled an appearance.
He's taken that strategy and run with it, and everyone else has like had a backbone and been like, no, I think what we're seeing in our government is wrong. And Jimmy is just like, let's all sing funny songs together, everyone, hee hee ha ha. And yeah, Jimmy Fallon, and he was supposed to be on a panel at, I think, a university-sponsored thing. He did a show the other night from Detroit, by the way, and the night that the Detroit hosted the Chicago Bears and beat them like 52 to 14 or something. It was quite a night, but he had the star pass rusher Adrian Hutchinson show up on his station. It was just great fun, and it's why Jimmy Fallon is a lot of fun. But the cancellation of this panel that he did was like classic Jimmy, shying away. Where Colbert won the Emmy the other night for best I don't know late
what
night
the
show
category was, but he won to a standing absolute standing ovation.
Did you see did you see that Jimmy Kimmel put up a billboard saying, I vote for Stephen,
don't vote for me,
and like those guys, they're also close, and they've all got each other's backs and stuff. Like you saw right after Colbert was canceled, he had a show where all of the others came on and were like in his audience.
Yeah. And did you
like
hear the news?
Seth is got to be the next one to go. Seth or Oliver. I think Oliver's more protected because he's with HBO, but.
I think
Seth Meyers is.
It could be Seth
because he is harsh. He is harsh on Trump.
He did a stand-up. Show as part of his.
Yeah, I saw that
contract that I watched. A good part of it. It was pretty funny. It was kind of odd to see him, out of his typical element, which is funny because that's how he started out as a stand-up comic. But it was very funny. It was very funny. So I got a bolt, my man.
All right.
I got a bolt, baby. I got a bolt. Hey, we're our band is playing at a club on Friday that has a link so you can watch it live while we're playing.
Cool.
And the place we're playing announced yesterday or 2 days ago that they were closing permanently in a week, which makes us the second last band that's playing in the place. Similar to what we did when the one place was closing, we did a benefit for them, and it's going around in the band that if it gets around that every time that we play someplace they end up going out of business, we're in trouble.
Yeah, don't. That's bad mojo.
Bad mojo. My idea for next year, by the way, is for us to keep the word mojo in every gig we do, but to change the word after
I like it
for every gig. So it's Mojo Riot, but it also I liked and would love to go as Mojo Doctor, or as many words as there are in the English language, you can imagine mojo this, mojo that. It's kind of a nightmare for branding. But if you showed a poster of the band and it said Mojo, and then Riot was there but crossed out, but you could read it, and then Doctor was there but crossed out and you could read it, I think it would be a nice little what do you call it? A little gimmick, as you would say.
Mojo gimmick.
Mojo gimmick.
There you go.
Right. Mojo Rising.
Hey, I think I suggested that.
Got to do that.
I suggested that a long time ago.
Yes, you did. You did. So we did. We've been finessing "Born to Be Wild," which we played last night at practice, just because it's so much fun. So much fun.
And are you born to be wild?
Yeah.
Cool.
I never want to die. Born to be wild. Born to be wild. Looking for a run and I want to head out on the highway. Looking for adventure and whatever comes our way. Oh Lord, I want to make it happen. I'll give my love to an different day. Oh Lord, the long is under, explode into space like a true nature's child. Oh, we were born to be wild. Oh, we can fly so high. Oh, I never want to die. Born to be wild.
Yeah, man.
Born to be wild. The lead guitar goes crazy. I'll send you a link. We got a new little promo out that shows us doing 3 or 4 songs with fucking laser lights.
Laser lights and shit. Love it. Later.
I'm out of here. Ciao, baby.
Okay. Okay, that's it for episode number 261, coming to you live from Macedonia. You can find the show notes at happyhour.fm/621, and you can help support the show at patreon.com/happyhour, where if you supported the Gin Martinis level, you can watch videos of me and all my different random hotel rooms everywhere. So, think about that. See you next week.